There's going to be a major upcoming change for the Justice League movie as Zack Snyder has stepped down from his post-production directorial roles, handing it over to Joss Whedon due to a personal tragedy. So this was not known by the public, any of us before, but Zack Snyder has been, and his family, his wife Deborah, have been dealing with the suicide of their daughter Autumn, aged 20, which happened this past March, and they were going to keep it a quiet matter within the family. However, it seems like with such a high-profile project and a lot of scrutiny on them, and you know, we'll get into this, it was necessary to make this specific announcement.
And first off, I just want to say shame on all the people on social media that are celebrating this because they're huge Joss Whedon fans. I'm a Joss Whedon fan as well.
I love Joss
and
as well.
I love him. I think he's a fantastic director, but shame on all of you for being like, oh, this is great news, because really that's horrible. This family's going through such a tragedy.
Someone had to die for this.
Yeah, it's
not what they died for. We have a quote from Zack Snyder himself. In my mind, I thought it was a cathartic thing to do, go back to my work, to just bury myself and see if that was the way through it. The demands of the job are pretty intense. It is all-consuming, and in the last 2 months, I've come to the realization I've decided to take a step back from the movie to be with my family, be with my kids who really need me. They are all having a hard time. I'm having a hard time. So I think this had to be made, the announcement the way it was, because I mean, I'm guilty of this too. I'm not a fan of some of Zack's movies. However,
very true.
I wouldn't necessarily go so far as to celebrate a personal tragedy such as this.
No, yeah, exactly.
I think when we look at this, it's so difficult for me to imagine celebrating someone's death resulting in a movie being slightly better, in my opinion.
And at the end of the day, it's just a movie. It's just a movie. Like the fact that he and his family are having to go through this, you know, shouldn't even, like, people are like, well, what about the movie? Is it gonna come out on time? It's like, it shouldn't matter. You know, they're dealing with a really difficult time right now. And I mean, I am glad that they chose Joss Whedon to take over.
Well, first of all, you know, he does have the backup chops for this, but he started his career working in similar ways in post-production on movies, and he's very good at it. So for the sake of the movie alone, Joss Whedon will be handling post-production, and it will come out on time itself. However, like you said, Snyder also said, in the end, it's just a movie. It's a great movie, but it's just a movie. I think the point of superhero movies is to celebrate or imagine that we can be greater, that we can have hope in humanity and to strive for better. Because we do see like superhuman people doing things to help just ordinary folks who maybe aren't, you know, necessarily good people or helpful people, but just the idea that we can be better. So with that note, I mean, it's hard for me to imagine a fan of the superhero genre and what it stands for going the opposite way with this, which is, yeah, get your stupid directorial ideas off this movie. I don't know. It's not for me.
Yeah, we should all just kind of, you know, send healing thoughts to him and his family. And, you know, when Justice League does come out, I'd say we all go see it and support. I mean, him and
to be real, I was gonna see it no matter what.
Well, duh. And I mean, Joss Whedon is so incredible with creating content with ensemble casts that giving him the post-production responsibility, I feel, will really help.
He's the right person to do it.
Oh,
he
for
can
sure.
do it. It's nice to see that Joss is working on this, and that to know that he will excel on this despite all of the tragedy around it. And I feel as though he had to announce it this way as well, because otherwise, I mean, with the meta looking at movies, people would say, uh-oh, that means this movie is a mess, and he can't handle his job anymore.
The fact that they kept it secret since March is pretty impressive, because I heard nothing of this. I had no idea he and his family were going through this. And I try to keep up with my, you know, superhero.
Yeah, I love to look at the making of the industry news, and it just wasn't there at all.
Yeah, they kept it under tight.
I wonder how much though Joss will be able to affect this, because it is all post-production work at this point.
Well, there is some pickup scenes as well, and different like things that he'll be directing, which so it'll be interesting to see if the tone and style of the movie will be slightly different in those scenes, just from a different directorial
I mean, there is a lot you can do in post as well. It's working with what you've already got and then maybe adding those extra polisher scenes, but I think like the bulk of this is already shot. So we'll see what effect it does end up having on the movie when it comes out. Audience, are you looking forward to Justice League? Please let us know below. Please like and subscribe for more.